Hi, I'm Laura. I teach here at Sangha, and I'll be leading you through a lunar flow. So we're going to start in a seat. I'm sitting on a block. You don't necessarily have to have a block to practice. You can also sit on the mat. You can start in easy pose, or I'm going to shift into hero pose. And first, just to warm up pretty much the whole spine from the pelvis to the neck, we're going to start with some cat-cow-like motions. So bringing the hands onto the thighs. As you inhale, hands slide in towards the hips as you lift the heart, lifting the gaze up. On exhale, slide the hands forward as you tuck the chin, round back. Inhale, heart lifts forward, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, slowly round, curling in. And then just continue this motion, moving with the wave of your breath. And as you move, see if you can tune into this rocking motion in the pelvis. So on the inhale, you're rocking forward on the pelvis. So you're kind of sticking your butt up in the air. And on the exhale, you're tucking the tailbone in, rounding forward. So this movement will kind of help us when we get into our Chandra Namaskars or moon salutations. After your next exhale, take an inhale to lengthen the spine up towards the ceiling. And then just start to reach your fingertips down towards the floor beside you and begin to interlace the fingers behind the back. Notice what way you put your thumb on top of the other thumb and then undo it so that the opposite thumb is on top. In a lunar flow, I always encourage you to do the opposite of kind of what feels most natural or comfortable. Start to reach the knuckles down towards the floor so you're lengthening the arms. As you do this, see if you can feel your tailbone lengthening towards the floor, engaging the low belly. Feel the rib cage knitting in. And start to lift the gaze up towards the sky. Take a few moments here. Noticing the movement of the shoulders drawing down and back. The shoulder blades squeezing together. On the next inhale, slowly free the hands, reach them all the way up towards the ceiling. Interlace fingers, all but the pointer finger, reaching it directly up towards the sky. And then notice where your shoulders are in relation to your ears. Draw the shoulders down so that you feel your upper arms plug in. Take one more inhale. Exhale, slowly trace the hands down through the midline. Plant the hands onto the floor and come onto all fours. You can move the block out of your way if you had one. And then shifting into your tabletop, find any movement just to get into your body. Maybe some sways in the hips and the head, moving in opposite directions. Adjusting the knees under the hips and the wrists under the shoulders. Find that active pressure, palms and tops of feet into the floor. On the inhale, slide the hands far forward as they will go, hands about shoulder distance apart. So here, we're gonna start in a lunar vinyasa that will incorporate into our flow, into our Chandra Namaskars. So take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lower the forehead as you lift your tailbone nice and high. Stretch long through the arms, active. Feel your fingertips pressing actively into the floor. Relax the head. Take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, slowly rise up. Exhale to lower the forearms so that they're parallel to the sides of the mat. And then adjust so your shoulders are right over your elbows. Then begin to lengthen one leg at a time, lifting one knee, lifting the other, pressing the heels actively behind you, coming into a forearm plank. Now notice where your hips are in alignment with the rest of your body. See if you can get your hips in alignment with your heels and your shoulders, so you're one straight line of energy. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly lower the knees, the front of the pelvis, untuck the toes. Inhale, push actively into the arms, lifting through the crown of the head. Exhale, slowly lower the heart, hands slide under shoulders. Find a gentle sway side to side. You can keep the heart and the head low. Come back through stillness. Inhale, heart rises up. And exhale, release. Inhale, push actively into the palms. Tuck the toes, lift the hips for your first downward dog. Now that lunar vinyasa we took a little bit slowly. We'll go a little bit faster when we get to that point, but know there's always an opportunity just to kind of explore and shift around. From here, inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees towards the floor and then press the heels down. Finding these circles with the legs. Inhale, lift the heels. And exhale, bend the knees, press the heels actively down as you straighten the legs. Find one more, inhale. Exhale, bend and circle around. Inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, slowly start to walk towards the very front of the mat. Coming into a forward fold, feet about hip distance apart. Exhale to fully release the weight of the head. And then allow some sways side to side. You can also grab opposite elbows. Just let the spine traction towards the floor. Arms and head super heavy. And coming back to stillness. Inhale, hands slowly slide up the shins, come halfway up. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Release the weight of the head. 2 more times. Inhale, halfway, spine becomes parallel to the ground. Exhale, slowly release. 1 more time, inhale. From here, exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips back, and then plant the hands onto the thighs. Here's a nice easy way to kind of get up using the right kind of muscles, your glutes, your quadriceps, your core. Gazing forward, just allow yourself to be awkward here. Take 1 more breath in and out. Inhale, push actively into the feet as you rise fully up. Roll the shoulders back, palms face forward. Finding your mountain pose, noticing feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. And then here, bring the hands onto the hips. Same kind of motion that we did in our kind of cat-cow movement, just playing with the pelvis, letting it lift out and back, and in and forward. So this is called, most yoga, there's a lot of poses that start with kind of where the tilt of the pelvis is. So the beginning of our Chandra Namaskar starts with a cat tilt, which is where that tailbone draws in, core engages. Bring the hands to the low back, kind of exploring around, finding the sacrum, that little diamond-shaped bone that connects the spine to the pelvis. And then hug the elbows in towards the midline. Begin to actively press the hands into the sacrum. And then inhale, begin to lift up through the heart. Gaze can follow up towards the ceiling. Feel that same engagement in the belly, Rib cage knitting in. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands slowly slide down the backs of the legs as you fold and half release the head. Inhale, step left foot all the way back, bending into the right knee, coming into a low lunge, adjusting as you need to so that the knee comes right over the front ankle. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, lower the back knee down. Inhale, slide front foot back, come onto all fours, plant the hands, find a gentle sway. Lunar vinyasa, inhale, hands slide forward. Exhale, lower the forehead, lift your tailbone. Inhale, slowly rise away from the mat. Exhale, lower the forearms, adjust shoulders over wrists, over elbows. Extend long, one leg at a time, level yourself out. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly lower knees, front of the pelvis, untuck the toes. Inhale, push actively down, lift the crown of the head. Exhale, slowly lower the heart, hands slide under shoulders. Inhale, begin to sway side to side. Come back to neutral. Inhale, peel the heart forward, draw shoulders back, your back bend. And exhale, release. Inhale, push actively up. Use your upper arm strength to rise. Tuck the toes, lift the hips high, downward dog. Take a moment here to just reconnect to the breath, to shift and sway in the body. Let the head become heavy. Begin to step the toes towards each other. Inhale, slowly lift the left heel up and back. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest as you hover, shoulders over wrists. Step the foot through, help it if you need to, adjusting ankle underneath the knee. Start to push actively into the floor, floating the fingers off of the ground. On inhale, big sweep up, high crescent lunge. Readjust your feet if you need to. Take an inhale. Exhale, circle the arms down and around, fingertips to the floor. You can walk the hands a little bit beyond the foot. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, step the foot forward and release the weight of the head, forward fold. Take another full breath in and out. Inhale, hands slide up the shins, halfway lift. Exhale to bend the knees, plant hands to the thighs, elbows hug in, gaze forward. Inhale to stay. Exhale to stay, maybe lower the hips. Inhale, push actively into the ground, rise up, roll the shoulders, open the heart. Pause for a moment. And then join the hands again to the low back. Draw the elbows in. Same thing, second side. Inhale, slowly lift the heart. We'll take a couple breaths here, Chandrasana. Draw the shoulders on the upper back together. Inhale. Exhale, slowly slide hands down the legs, release to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, step right foot back, bending into the left knee, setting up your lunge, hands on either side of the foot. Gaze forward. Fingertips, whole palm, or even fists on the ground. If you have blocks, you can also use blocks. Inhale to stay. Exhale, lower the back knee. Inhale, front foot slides back. Set up your tabletop, knees under hips. Inhale, hands slide forward. Exhale, lower the forehead, lift the tailbone. Anahatasana, heart opening pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to lower forearms down. Adjust shoulders over elbows and then begin to lift up into your forearm plank. Level it out. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower knees, front of the pelvis, untuck the toes. Inhale, push actively into the forearms, Sphinx pose. Exhale, slowly lower the heart, slide hands underneath. Sway a little side to side, spontaneous cobra. Back through center, your back bend. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra or upward facing dog, actively pushing hands into the ground. Lower to the floor on the exhale. Inhale, push down, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. You can nod the head side to side, you can shift in the feet, eventually letting the heels become heavy, and then stepping the toes a little bit towards each other. Inhale, right heel lifts up, three-legged downward dog. Exhale, curl the knee forward, step the foot through. Get longer through your back heel, push down into the floor, hover the fingertips. Inhale, rise all the way up, and then let yourself reset for a moment. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, arms circle around, fingertips to the floor. Walk it forward, gaze forward, fingertips forward. Take one more breath in. Exhale, slowly join left foot to right, fold in half. On inhale, hands slide up the shins, halfway lift. Exhale to bend the knees, sink the hips down, hands to thighs. Next, inhale, push down to rise up. Roll the shoulders back. So that was two halves to a whole, Chandra Namaskar. Now we'll do kind of a whole last Chandra Namaskar. This time to start, since we've kind of worked a little bit on our pelvis and warmed ourselves up, we'll do a full Chandrasana. So interlacing the fingers together, pointer fingers to point up. Check in with your pelvis. Notice kind of where your pelvis is in space. And then draw the tailbone down so you feel engagement in the belly. Let the knees soften. On the inhale, scoop the fingers down, forward, then up. Lift the gaze towards the ceiling. Exhale, slowly lower the hands down through the midline, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to downward dog, however you get there. And take a moment just to land, feeling the hands and the feet connected to the earth. Inhale. Exhale, lower the knees to the ground. Untuck the toes, slide the hands forward. Inhale to stay. Exhale, lower the forehead, lift your tailbone. Spread actively through the arms. Let's take a couple breaths here. On inhale, rise away from the mat. Exhale to lower the forearms down. Stretch long through one leg, then the other. Set up your forearm plank. And then here, explore. Kind of press actively the ball mounds of the foot into the floor to sway forward and back. You can also start to draw a circle, shifting weight towards one forearm and the other, forward and back. And then of course, switch the direction of that circle if you're doing that. Eventually come back to neutral, heels pressing behind you. Inhale. Exhale, lower knees, front of the hips, untuck the toes. Take a moment in kind of a lazy sphinx. So, elbows under the shoulders. On the exhale, slowly let the heart and the head droop down towards the floor. The head become heavy. Find the breath. On inhale, begin to actively push elbows, forearms, and hands into the floor to lift the crown of the head up. Active sphinx. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly lower the heart. Slide hands under shoulders. Spontaneous cobra. You can keep it low. You can also start to roll one shoulder and the other, drawing circles. You can also lift up a little bit if it feels okay in the low back. Eventually, back to neutral. Inhale, baby cobra, and exhale, release. Inhale, press all the way up. Shift it back to child's pose. Option to let the knees come wide. You can stretch the arms in front of you, and then actually set the elbows down. Join the palms together, fingertips pointing up in Anjali Mudra as you lower the forehead towards the mat. And simply watching the breath move in and out. Noticing this small space, maybe the connection of the rib cage and the belly to the thighs. And feeling that expansion and contraction of breath. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly lower the hands to the ground. Walk the hands in towards the body. And then just come to sit. You can sit in hero pose, you can sit in easy pose. And then you can add on to the rest of this practice, or you can simply pause for a moment. Hands to thighs. You can soften the gaze or close the eyes completely. Follow the breath. And then use this as an opportunity to tune in. Our world and our life is full of many solar activities, of working and going and being active, being awake. We tend to forget about that tuning in, the lunar side, where we actually allow ourselves time at the end of the day to reflect, to notice our energy, our mood, our emotions, and to simply be with whatever is happening. So incorporating Chandra Namaskars or lunar salutations into your kind of evening practice is a way to really tune in and to connect to your lunar side. Take a few more moments in silence and stillness. Noticing even in stillness the continuous flow of your breath, the movement of the upper body, the expansion of the rib cage and the belly. And as you're ready, join the palms together at the heart. Take an inhale, loop the shoulders up to the ears, roll them down the back, On inhale, slowly tilt the head up towards the sky. Exhale, draw the chin in towards the chest. May your practice guide you deeper into yourself, aligning the solar and lunar energies of your being. Namaste.